hell is my thinking chair? Thinking chair. Found the thinking chair. Oh God. Oh, my thinking chair. I gotta think. So I'm in a dilemma, guys. Big dilemma. Like life-altering dilemma. Go figure. I recently did a B series swap to a Del Sol that had a D16 Z6 in it. Good running D16 Z6. 183,000 miles or something like that. And the guy that I did it for, a buddy of mine, he was like, "Hey, you can keep the engine if you want to. I really don't even want to move it." All right, cool. Whatever. So now I'm sitting here with a D16 Z6 right there. And my first thought process was, well, to sell it, make a couple bucks. Whatever. Z6s are pretty pricey nowadays. They're hard to come by. I got the full swap transmissions in right here. That's what we do. But then I started thinking. I was like, what would happen if I could find a roller for the Z6, right? Because I need more projects, of course. And couldn't find a decent roller that wasn't god-awful expensive. Like, I found a couple of rollers that were in okay-ish condition, I guess. They were about, anywhere from ranging from like $1,200 to upwards of like $2,000. And I know for some of you out there that live in areas that aren't super popular with Hondas, are like $2,000 for a roller, that's crazy. But you guys have to remember, supply and demand isn't just by, doesn't go just by, everybody. It goes by area. So $2,000 roller here in the Midwest typically would mean that it has a minimum to no rust. That's worth the money for most people. $2,000 roller out west with a similar condition car, you get laugh reacts on Facebook. So I was searching and I came across something that's been posted for a while. And I messaged the guy and he said he had somebody to come look at it. I said, all right, well, let me know if it falls through. I'm interested. A week goes by, I messaged him, today's Thursday, I messaged him, Tuesday? And I said, hey, I see it's still pending. Is it, did it sell? And he goes, no, guy backed out. Forgot all about you. If you want it, come get it. No holds. And I said, well, I'm not gonna be able to get out there till this weekend. So can I send you a down payment? Okay, so it's the next morning. I'm forcing the kid to come with me on my adventures. He ain't gonna say hi to nobody. And we're on our way to get the car. So I'll bring you guys back whenever we get there. Check it out. I bought a Del Sol, because why not, right? So I had a Del Sol for like a really small amount of time back in high school. It was a turbo D15 car, actually. It made boost one time. Bought it off of, I traded an Integra to a guy who I've dealt with multiple times in the past. And, every time I've ever dealt with him, it's always something. There's always a catch with whatever the hell he was trying to get rid of. But anyway, I found this Del Sol right not too far away from me, actually. It was about an hour and a half out. Obviously, me and the kid went and got it. It is relatively mint. This being the worst spot right there. And it's not even in it yet, which is nice. So that means I don't have to cut the quarter panel out. I can just fix it. But a little bit right here too, but that's just some sanding and some paint. But look at this interior. Look, it's even got the factory Del Sol mats in it still. Albeit they're faded, but look, no rips. You can see it's starting to come in right here. You can feel it, but it hasn't torn yet, which is nice. Everything's here. Everything. A Chilton's manual, a Haynes manual, which is nice. Looks like we got a couple of them here. Chilton's and a Haynes manual. Sweet. For the old heads out there like me who appreciate having some hard copies to go back and look at. And some OEM Honda parts here. New old stock stuff. So it looks like we got a lid cover for this. There's a screw in this for whatever reason, but there's a new one right there. The antenna's not in the car, but here's a new factory one right here. Looks like we got a dome light, which this dome light looks fine. So I don't know why we would need it, but hey, we got it. And a new pedal for the clutch. I think we got brake and clutch here. Yeah, because there's a tad bit worn down, but that's not a big deal to me. Aside from that though, she is a stock Z6 car. And like I said, it started up right off the trailer. I mean, we pushed it onto the dolly, but when I got home, I figured, hey, let's just toss the battery out the S2000 and see if it starts. And it started right up. I had to jump it. I think there might be a little bit of a connection issue between the ignition and the starter solenoid. But other than that, I mean, it's all complete. It's all there. Oh, we got a little bit of the nestiness down there. Something's been living in it. It looks really good outside of paint, obviously, but like this quarter panel looks dang near perfectly fine. There's a little bubbling underneath there, but it hasn't started like rusting. That's what's most important. Other than that, it needs paint drastically. So the story behind this car is gentleman's daughter was daily driving it. She got it hot, drove it home, and it's been parked ever since. It was actually sitting inside his workshop on his property, and he just recently moved it outside, and it's only been, but it was up for sale. So it's been outside for a month, actually. It was up for sale for 25 days, and it was pending. So, you know, like I said, I messaged him to see if he wanted to get rid of it, if it hadn't already been, you know, taken, and luckily it hadn't been. So all said and done, I'm in this car $1,000, and the deal with it is, to be honest with you guys, this ain't going to be a fast build. So if that's what you're looking forward to, it ain't going to happen on this car. This is actually a flip car. Number one, I'm going to be selling it after I fix it. So what we're going to end up doing is it's going to need paint. You know, this is what it is. We'll do the light body work that's required on it, because this is honestly the straightest Delisol I have seen in a very, very, very long time. Sand down the clear coat, and luckily it's just black. So it's not like one of those weird specialty colors. It's not like the green or that light blue they come in. Straight black is really, really, really easy to lay down. So that's what's going to end up happening here. But man, this thing is clean. And I bet you guys are wondering, well, if it's been sitting inside, why is paint gone? Well, this was a Virginia car, and he daily drove this for years back and forth to work because it was better on gas than his truck. So it did have a point in time where it did sit outside all the time. But since it's been messed up, it's been sitting inside, which in my opinion is the best way to do it. If you're not daily driving a car and it just sits, move it inside or put it inside somewhere that's covered. You may think, I'm not driving it, it won't rust out, you know, nothing that, but hey, it will. You'd be surprised how many nice cars with low miles you have to do a bunch of maintenance to because the car just sat for so long. So yeah, let's look underneath here. Check underneath. I looked at it a little bit earlier and I was like, nice, look at that. Look at that. Nothing rotted out. Oh man, this thing is solid. Even the trailing arm bushings don't look terrible, and that's saying something. And it still moved, nothing seized up. It has a factory cat on it. Rear disc brake car. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this is gonna make someone's day. So offer up immediately. We're just gonna, not today, but the motor's just gonna come out, you know, just gonna rip it out. I actually was sitting there thinking, I was like, if it's good, then I'll leave it be. But I think I just want to go through and reseal it. And I'm kind of having a little bit of a conniption here because two Z6s that run. This one's already out the car, and I've already ordered rebuild stuff for it. So it's just like, okay, well, why not rebuild this one and toss it back into the car? But kind of one of those like numbers matching thing, but it's an OBD1 Z6. There is no numbers matching. There's no VIN stamped on the block or in the transmission, so I guess it really doesn't matter at all. But you know, just for, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Honestly, like I got probably a good, I'd say, week before I can even like start really diving into it. But let me know what you guys think. Should I just rebuild the one that's out the car, or should I pull the one that's in the car, rebuild it, and smack it back in? Like I said, paint, light body work. I need to replace little simple things, and you know, we're just gonna sell it. Someone's gonna be, I imagine someone's looking for a Delisol that is not modified, isn't rotted out, and they can just hop in and drive. And I feel like these cars will be getting more rare and rare every single day. So why not do it? You know, it's my first restoration, I guess. So it ain't gonna be that deep. Just little stuff. So goals are outside of like doing stuff to the engine and whatnot. Goals are, I'm gonna try and find not these wheels, obviously, get off these. I'm gonna look for some type of factory Honda wheel. If I can't find that, I have no problem tossing the aftermarket wheel on it. I'm going to be doing front and rear brakes, just knock those out. Obviously, there'll probably be some other things I need to address once I get underneath the car completely. But he did say that since he daily drove it, he tried to keep everything, you know, as nice as possible. So it doesn't look like, I mean, that ball joint's cracked. Might have some ball joints that need to be replaced, but since it's all the same platform as like the Integra, for example, I have a bunch of spare stuff. So we might just go ahead and utilize some of them old ball joints, or new ball joints, but they're old because they've been sitting forever. Toss them on here, just do basic maintenance, make it comfortable to drive. Probably replace the struts, and I don't think I'll put coilovers on it because I feel like at that point we're getting into modifying it, and I really don't want to do that. So, but yeah. This will be the new project. Don't worry. Honestly, this thing's gonna be sitting for a minute. I wouldn't even think about that. I will be back on the S2000 though. I'm just gonna work on that off camera. It's completely ridiculous trying to film and explain what I'm doing with this thing. Don't worry about that either. That ain't nothing getting this motor. This is for money. But yeah, it's nice. I like it. Clean title. Shout out to, his name is Thomas. Shout out to him. Very, very, very nice man. Man, I just can't believe, like, I know to some of you guys, or maybe down south or out west, or I mean, I guess even across the pond where you don't have to worry about rust and salt on your roads and whatnot. This is, in Illinois at least, you really don't get much better than this, especially for $1,000. Man. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on what we're going to be doing next. I have come to the conclusion that unless I'm actively doing something with my cars, like driving wise or racing wise, I don't really like filming my own personal cars, just because that's my me time. You know what I mean? Regardless if I'm doing something I want to do or something I'm dreading to do, I just want to knock it out. So I'm going to start trying to find, especially with the way that my work and everything's going right now, I'm going to end up going the independent route, like get out of my day job and just go to what I need to be doing anyway. You'll probably see more flip cars. You'll probably see a lot of junkyard runs. We're just going to have fun. That's what my goal is this summer. Just have fun. So we'll get this knocked out, get it running and driving good, safe, get it painted. And you know what? Everything's said and done, I'll probably add like $4,500, $5,000, just depending on how much money I have to toss into it. And here in the Midwest, a clean stock chassis base with no rust, that's actually really cheap. There's people who sell rollers with no rust and fresh paint on it for almost $5,000. So somebody can get a running driving Del Sol for at or below $5,000, and everything works. I rolled down the rear window, everything works. There is a latch that's broken on the top, but that's fine because where it broke off at, I could just replace the actual latch itself, thank God. And we got to replace, I'm probably just going to do headlights. Since it's a Del Sol, this should be easily attainable because for whatever reason people hate Del Sols. I don't agree with it. I think Del Sols are actually really neat, but Honda purists, like the Del Sol's like bottom totem pole for whatever reason. I don't get it. Y'all like Civics. At least the top on this one comes off. But that's gonna be it for this video. We're going out of town, so I couldn't do too much today. I just wanted to give you guys something and try to get you guys up to speed on what exactly is going on in my car life here. So like I said, more flip cars, more action. That's what I want to do. I'm tired of just filming me working on crap, so I'll just do that off camera, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace.